Greetings, beautiful beings. I hope you all are drinking water and taking care of yourself, and you're allowing yourself to grow and to be and to experience all that you are in this way. Um, Please, 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 first honor yourself and honor all that you are and honor that you're amazing. And um, I'm Fatima. So I'm Fatima, the co-birther and chief of love and healing work. And today I want to talk to you about living without harm. I would love to talk to you about what it means to allow yourself to be here and now in your here and now, and doing it from a place of knowing that you don't have to have shame or guilt. I want to engage with you in this moment about what does it mean to live without harm, and see if you all want to talk about these kinds of things, and we can come up here and have conversations about what does it really mean to live without harm, to dream dreams that aren't harmful to you, to allow yourself to see what you want and how you want it, the way you want it, and allow yourself to be big because you are big. What does it look like to live a life with knowing that you can choose? What happens? What happens when you connect with words of kindness? You think that anything is possible, and so you work to make anything possible. What if you allow yourself to be inspired by living a life without harm? What does it mean to not be harmful in this way that we call life? Now you're going to be like, Fatima, why are you talking about not living with harm? Because this is a new season, and this is a season of new things. And I'm an Aquarius, and I just did this whole like human design thing. And so I'm also, what are those, the things? Man, I forgot, but it's a part of my human design. It makes sense that I'm here. So I want to talk about why living without harm changed my life. Okay? Because you're like, so first, I used to cutter for 10 years. So from 14 to 24, I actively harmed myself. I actively thought that that love was harm. And I used to say that I loved myself out loud. I would say, I love me. And then I would put myself in harmful situations that were loving, and they weren't. So then I grew up, right? They say our brain fully develops at 24. So it makes sense that I stopped cutting at 24. And then after that, it took me 2 years to learn practices that would keep me from harming myself in how I thought and how I spoke and how I engaged with others. Now, 10 years later, I'm 37, and I no longer think that I should ever want to have harm in my life and call it love. Ever, ever. I genuinely believe that you should be the best caretaker of you, and I should be the best caretaker of me. And then when we get together, now we are so full because we've cared for ourselves that we can care for each other, and we can be in collective space, and we can be in relationship, because the seasons right now are talking to us about what it means to be in relationship. What the universe is asking from us right now is, how do we relate to ourselves and other people? So the question is, are you doing it from a place of harm? And if so, forgive yourself. I know man, I used to cuss people out. I used to make people feel this small. I used to rip people's souls out of their chest and cut it up and then rip it up and then put it in the blender and throw it in the ocean, because that's what was done to me. And people called it love. People would belittle me. My mother would belittle me. My family would belittle me. They would say that I didn't belong and that they didn't get my entire existence and that I thought that I was better than them. And I would hear it. And I believed it until I realized that them people don't love themselves, so they can't love me. Because everybody in our families that we didn't choose, they're people too. Our teachers, our bosses, those are all human beings moving with their own lived experience and their own trauma. So what can I do in this world with other humans? I can control me. And I can choose to not be harmful to myself. I can say, hey, I can say, what is harm? And then say, I don't want harm. And then I can go, what isn't harm? What is kindness and compassion? What does that look like for me? What does that mean to me? How do I engage with that? You know how I do it? Is I say, this is harmful. And okay, perfect example. I love bread. I love croissants and I love bagels and I love biscuits, but gluten don't love me. And I break out and I get slow and it's not cute. But one could say that I love myself by eating something that is harmful to my body, but I'm not. If I'm intentionally eating food that my body is rejecting, then I am embodying a form of living in a harm with myself. So I could just choose to identify where in my life am I subjecting myself to harmful behavior, whether it's via myself or others, right? And I can also then I can choose several things. I can choose to how I engage with it all. I can say, okay, I really want bread. So let me find some gluten-free bread so my body doesn't respond in that way because I love myself too much to have an adverse reaction to things that I know my body says no to. I can, instead of listening to music where they're calling me all types of bitches and hoes and I'm somebody gonna punch me in the face and I'm not this and I'm not that, I can listen to music that reminds me that I am everything and all things and the universe is conspiring in my favor. I can listen to music that makes me feel whole. I can do that. I can choose to do that because I'm living a life without harm. So I invite you to think about, to reflect on what is a life without harm for you? What is ease and pleasure and joy look like for you? What is moving in a life with a regulated nervous system? With knowing that things are going to happen, but you don't have to engage in those things. What does it look like for real? To do your own love and healing work, to be on a loving healing journey where you are not harming yourself or others. Living without harm is a choice, and we have to be intentional about making it. But it's a reflective choice. It's a choice that means that we have to sit down and ask ourselves and forgive ourselves. Ask ourselves, what are we doing that is causing us harm? And then forgive ourselves for doing the thing that is causing us harm. All can exist. We are perfect in our imperfectness. We are all that we are supposed to be if we choose it. And we can choose a life without harming ourselves. We can choose to see ourselves as worthy and deserving. And we can say, you know what, fuck all those other people who don't live the same towards me. If people are going to make their beliefs your business, welcome. Brandis Rawls has this Rawsism that says, fuck them people. And fuck them people means fuck the people who aren't engaging in your life that aligns with your life. If they're not for you, then fuck them. Why be bothered? Why be bothered with people that are okay with you harming yourself and causing you harm? You want people that want you to take care of you in your life. You want people in your life that is constantly reminding you to care for yourself and to love yourself and providing you support in that and however you can. That's the kind of people you want in your life. You want people that know how to engage with you from a place that isn't harmful. I mean, you can do that. We can do that. And I invite you to share this video with others so that you can start having a conversation about living without harm. Because I would love for more people to start talking about this. I would love for us to really be engaging from this place of, I know what causes me harm, so I stay away from that. And guess what? Because we're all connected, we're one here. If you're doing things that don't cause you harm, guess what? You then aren't doing things that won't cause anybody else harm because now we're in this space of moving and flowing together. I'm not harming me, so I'm not going to allow you to harm me. I'm not harming me, so I'm going to remind you to not harm you because you are my reflection. We are one. You harm you, you harm me. I hurt me, I hurt you. I hurt you, I hurt me. Living without harm is a real thing. Now, you're gonna don't be like Fatima. You're saying that harm will never happen. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that life will not bring like harm to us and harmful things won't happen. What I'm saying is that we have a choice of how we flow with and through that harm. Now we can create our own harm, yes. And life is filled with harms and suffering. And guess what? Guess what? We get to choose how we move through it. We get to choose if we let it go or we hold on to it. We get to choose if we're going to be mean and hateful and cold and distant and ornery and terrible, or we can be joyous and grateful because we can hold all of it. We can hold the disappointment and the harm and also the gratitude that we had this experience and we learned the lesson. We can grow and move from a place that isn't harmful even when we are experiencing harm. I know. I've been in situations where I have had to fight or argue. Well, I'm not arguing with anybody. People are arguing with me. And regulate my own nervous system because I'm choosing not to harm myself, even if I'm in a harmful situation. And getting to the point where, guess what? You're no longer putting ourselves in a situation where we're harmed because we do that. We do that for a paycheck. We do that for love. We do that for acceptance. We will harm ourselves for the sake of you choose, right? You choose what you want and how you want it, the way you want it. We choose how we want to do it and why we want to do it that way. We do all of it. So my invitation to you is, I mean, to just allow yourself to choose. Choose to move from a place of wholeness. Choose to allow yourself to be who you are. Choose it. I really genuinely believe and know that the life that we are living is based on what we're choosing. And to live without harm is one of the most beautiful choices we can make. We can do that. We can absolutely do it. So I invite you to consider this. And thank you all for joining. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Drop a note, say hello. I would love to know how you are living without harm or trying to live without harm. What does it look like for you to live a non-harmful life? So that's important. It's important for us to build collectives of people who want to live a life where they're not harming themselves or others. It's a thing. Excuse me. It's a thing to be present with ourselves in this way that allows us to gift ourselves what we need, how we need it, the way we need it. Because honestly, if we don't, then who will? Who will take care of us if we don't take care of ourselves? Who will celebrate us if we don't learn to celebrate ourselves? Who will do that if we don't? And if we choose to not, then what happens? Then we're upset because people aren't giving us what we think that we deserve. We are upset because we aren't receiving the thing that we believe that we should receive. We then choose to not like people or put ourselves in a bubble because now we are living this life and what? You're harming yourself. You're harming yourself for the sake of someone else. Greetings, love. So I'm going to invite you to think about this. How do you not harm yourself in how you're moving through the world? I'm divinely amazing. Thank you for asking. And one of the ways that you can not harm yourself moving through the world is drinking more water and taking care of yourself, listening to your body, checking in with your body from a sense of your body has its own experience. So what does it need? Does it need rest? Does it need water? Does it need food? Does it need to be hugged or touched? Right? It's one way of living without harm. And then I'm also going to invite you to think about, what are you saying about yourself to yourself? How are you engaging with you about you? What does it mean to be all of you in this moment? And are you doing it from this place that is fulfilling and joyous and wonderful? Or are you just like, well, I'm here. I'm gonna be here. I invite you to allow yourself to just be present with the knowing that you can be non-harmful with yourself. You can eat things that don't hurt your body. You can listen and watch things that don't put you in a fight, flight, freeze response. You can allow yourself to be with other people that don't cause harm. Living without harm is one of the most glorious things that we can give ourselves. It's one of the best gifts. It's one of the best gifts. And we all deserve this gift, the gift of non harm. So, how do you not harm yourself? What does it mean to not harm yourself? Can you acknowledge that maybe you have harmed yourself? And that's okay. It's having grace for it. It's saying, I get it. You're learning. I'm learning. I want you to just ask, how do you continuously learn how to take care of yourself, how to witness yourself, how to give yourself everything that you need that doesn't cause you harm? Because that's it. That's it. That's the only thing that I invite you to really sit in is, I can live a life without harm. What does that life look like? I can I can be here and now and not think that I don't have a right to be here. You do. Look at your life. Look at all the beautiful things that you have had to overcome to be here and now. Why wouldn't you allow yourself to embody not like behaviors that isn't harmful to you? You deserve it. You deserve to celebrate the wins. You deserve to celebrate the fact that you said that you were going to do a thing and you did it. You deserve to have yourself, cared for by you first. When was the last time you made sure you ate something that nourished your body? When was the last time you made sure that you listened to music that uplifted your spirit? When was the last time you took care of yourself in nature and you allowed yourself to be still, to hear you? When was the last time you did any of those things? I invite you to just think about it. Think about living a life without harm. I invite you to share this video with others. Comment on how you are living and choosing. And to know that you are amazing. The world is lighter and brighter because you are in it. Drink water. Take care of yourself. Know that you are full. Know that you are full. And you have everything you need. I love you.